welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Robots in Disguise 2001 Mega Class Midnight Express. You can see him there in front of the box. We're going to put him outside real quick and take a look at that box. And yes, it is a, well, 2001 box, all right. It's got that classic, now classic logo. You got the Midnight Express name. You got him in robot mode right there. You got the whole train to robot, the train, the multiple languages, wording, Token Hazard, Hasbro, and Fox Kids, and Level 3 and combiners, trains, and Age of 5 Plus, and the Autobot symbol and everything. On the top, of course, you got the Robots in Disguise logo right there with the Autobot and everything. And there you go, so you have the two modes right there on the side, and same thing on this side, the two modes. On the bottom you have some information plus his bio and tech specs and everything on a cutout card. Yeah. And on the back you have, the line-wide stuff, and of course his teammates himself, and hey look what they combine into on the back with the proof of purchase and the combiners. And he's he's a level 3 transformer, which means he is advanced, which again sounds a little ridiculous nowadays, considering how simple he is. And he also comes with, of course, a instructions. Hey, yeah, it's all three of the train bots, but on the same sheet of instructions. All three of them came with the same thing. So there is that. So, Midnight Express, probably, in my opinion, oh, actually, not probably, definitely the weakest, in my opinion, many others, the weakest of the three trains. He is, in train mode, an E4 Series Max. He's also known as J4 in Car Robots, the line this is based on. And yeah, he's got the weird, he's what often referred to as the duckbill bullet train. And that's part of the reason people don't like it. Is one, this train mode is probably the worst looking of the three. At least most people's opinion. But he does have, he's got the white right here. He's got some yellow striping right there. He's got the more yellow striping. He's got this like sparkly blue plastic down here. The gray windows and everything. And he has wheels, which these ones actually do line up in such a way that you could theoretically put this on a track. I'm not sure if there's what gauge it would be, but yeah. He does roll, although the clearance is not as good as some of the other ones, but he does roll. He's supposed to. He rolls, but yeah, that's part of the problem is, yeah, this right here, you can see it's not quite sitting as flush as it should be. Something causes it to pop back out a little bit, so it kind of, this stuff catches essentially, which is a little unfortunate. But yeah, also in this mode you got, well, these bits right here, which are again mostly for his gun mode. But yeah, what you do is you kind of put the missile in, which won't lock in, but then you just shove it in this hole right here, like that, and that again you get the coupler right there. And you got the hole right there, and I'll show that off in the combined mode video. And I'm not going to do comparisons in this video either. I'll do the comparisons in the combined mode video. But yeah, in this mode, his length is 10 1/4 inches long, or 26 centimeters, and his weight is 5.2 ounces, or 448 grams. He's the biggest and heaviest of the lot. Yeah, it's kind of it's a bullet train. It's the weakest looking bullet train. Also in Europe, he's not called Midnight Express because there's apparently in certain countries in Europe that has a very bad connotation. So hey. So yeah, transforming him is interesting. He's definitely got an interesting transformation. Yeah, again, you pull this stuff out, and that will probably come out without the missile, so you have to pull that out separately. And from there, what you want to do is bring this up right here, and also pull this pixel, because there's also I almost forgot about that. Yeah, this is the other part of the gun, which you have to, if you want to attach it, you have to plug it in right there like that. But yeah, pull that out if it's in there, put that on the side, and then also bring this side up as well. And bring it up on this hinge as well, like that. And then what you do is you then slide this out right here. You bring this back right there and bring it down like that. And the same thing on this side. You slide that out, bring it back, and then bring it down like so. Make sure they're fully extended. Then you take both sides and you extend them down like that. You bring this flap down like there. And from there, what you want to do is bring this down. You want to slide this down right there. Bring this out like that, or bring it like this, and then rotate it around like this, and then bring this up like that, and that's one foot. The other foot right here, you extend it out, you rotate it around, you bring this right up right here, you bring this back right here, and then you also rotate it like this on this ball joint, and then bring it back like that. So feet stay like that, and then coming up a bit right here. Go ahead and kind of bring these down a bit. You want to get these lined up a certain way that they're like this, so you can bring the fist out like this, and go ahead and do what you want with those flaps. I think you're supposed to keep them up like that. Yeah, bring that down and adjusting these so then you can bring out the fists like this. And right here, this is the weird part. You have to rotate this thing around like this, and then bring this up on this ball joint, and then there's a hinge right in this head, which is absurdly tight. And you're likely to pop it off the ball joint multiple times, and you're supposed to hinge the head forward, and hopefully not pop it off the ball joint. Hey, I didn't do that. Yay, okay. And there you go. There's Midnight Express in his robot mode. We want to do that. And yeah, he is definitely the one that is the most heavily compromised for the sake of the combined mode, because, well, there's an obvious thing, which we'll get to. But yeah, his head's actually not too bad looking. He's got these cool yellow stripes in the back. He got the helmet thing, which, again, looks like a bit like his, like a Shinkansen or a bullet train. He got the big old shoulder things. I was like big shoulder things. He's got this cool, you know, the detail is picked out when you have, you flip the flap down. There's a little mold detail and paint detailing. He's got some, you know, blue forearms and everything. And of course, he's got these massive legs that go on forever. He's also got big old feet too, which means he won't ever fall over, really. At least he shouldn't. I'll get back in that a little bit. Yeah, he's definitely the one who sacrificed the most for the sake of the combined mode, considering, you know, his massive legs. He's also got a little bit of I think it's got a smirk on it, his face. It's hard to tell. Yeah. Regardless, he is definitely an odd-looking one, much like Ultra Magnus. Or Robots in Disguise Ultra Magnus, anyway. He's definitely odd-looking, and his posability in his mode is also kind of odd. His head is on a ball joint, so you got left and right. You do have a bit of up and down as well, although the problem is the down just makes it look like he's trying to hide. His shoulders on ball joints, you got outward right there, you got full rotation, although it brings this bit round with it, and I wish that was not the case, and unfortunately, it can get caught really easy on the hips. There's no bicep swivel. There is a double jointed elbow, though, because of transformation, although, again, it can bang into the little shoulder pieces if you're not careful. The hips there is no waist joint because of how he works. The hips can ratchet forward pretty far. Yep, the ratchet's for a reason. Ratchet backwards pretty far. You ratchet outwards all the way. There is a dedicated thigh swivel. The knees are right there, and unfortunately, because of shapes and everything, you bend his knee and it barely makes a difference. Like, his shin is massive. And down here at the feet, you do have rotation it's weird. You have rotation on this foot. You can hinge the heel like that if you need that for anything. Both of them. This one can't rotate, but you can bring it down. You can bring them both down, although it's just kind of weird. The asymmetric feet kind of causes some issues. So there is that. Of course, with this stuff, the gun, what you want to do there is go ahead and with this piece, you want to fold down this peg right here, like that. Take this and you make sure it's like that, and bring that up. And of course, plug the missile in, click into place, and then you plug it in his hand. Be careful not to accidentally set it off. And there you go, he's got a gun with a little sight on it. Fortunately, on mine, the hinge is kind of weak. Of course, that's one thing, is over time, everything on this guy will become weak. If you find him, if you find one, you'll find it often missing these panels, because of course they are. The arms like to pop off the ball joints really. Over time, the arms really like to start popping off the ball joints really easily. This ball joint weakens pretty easily. There's a slider right here, and there's a central slider that often will start to weaken. The sliders in the legs will start to weaken. These sliders, this slider right here will start to weaken. This one doesn't have a slider. This one will start to weaken. So what happens is eventually, doing that. Same with the combined mode. Yeah, that's over time. It's because of sliders. Non-locking sliding joints turned out to be a bad idea. So he'll wear out, unfortunately. But the missile right here, this little button right here, of course it will fire. Pretty solidly too, which is nice. Still fires real stuff. The mechanism still works pretty well. You have to assemble the gun, but yeah. It's kind of an odd... That's the thing. He's really weird. He's got, the weirdest train mode, and he's also got the weirdest robot mode. And that always makes him the weakest. And so, which means it's kind of easy to find him. But again, they're all usually in pieces and missing parts and also in bad shape. But anyway, regardless, his height to the top of his head in his robot mode is 6 3/4 inches or 17.1 centimeters. He's also the tallest of the trainbots. Yeah, so he's the weird one. And yeah, it's hard, like on his own, he definitely gave the most. And this is one of those, it's hard to even say he's worth it on his own. Only because he looked goofy. He's just kind of, again, he's aged very poorly, mostly because a lot of his joints will weaken. On top of that, because of the hip joints, that is the first click right there, and that looks awful. He just looks kind of bad. And I'm like, any modernization of him, that's going to be one hell of a tall order, because like, what do you do? Because like, yeah, I'm not sure what you can do to fix this, because I think no matter what, it's going to be compromised, because it's on top of that, if you do change it, people will complain because you changed it. Now it sucks because it doesn't match the original toy. So yeah, he's a weird toy. And again, just like the other two, he retailed for $14.99 back in 2001, which would be nearly $30 in today's money. And even back then, he was kind of the hard draw, because hard to ask, because like, man, he is not a good looking figure in the slightest. He is pretty bad looking. He sacrificed everything for the combined mode. So that's the weird thing. It's like, yeah, if you find him, you can find him cheap, but the ones you find cheap are kind of bad. And if you don't find it, then you don't find cheap, well, he's still kind of bad, because even a good quality one, even one that's in good condition, it's still kind of a bad toy on its own anyway. So that's kind of where it's at. We're kind of like, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing of like, oh, yay, yeah. It's kind of a bad toy, honestly, if I'm going to be on its own. It's got that goofy charm to a degree, but it's definitely kind of a bad toy on its own. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say, really. It's just, man, yeah, it's like also the likelihood of us getting another one of these ever, at least from Hasbro, it's pretty slim, it seems like, because, well, as we've been told multiple times, trains don't sell well, and on top of that, it's going to be hard to get people to buy a robot that looks like this. And that's the other thing. He's also, on top of all the things that just come from aging, just over time, this losing friction and everything. That's particularly these sliding joints, which don't have any sort of locking mechanism. He's just very of his time in that he's got articulation, but a lot of it's compromised in weird ways that are kind of frustrating. So it's a weird of its time Transformer that I can't recommend unless you were kind of there and ready to accept his massive faults and possibly willing to also overspend for this guy. So I guess, yeah, that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social medias down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Ko-fi and my Patreon. I'll also see you next time with the final combined video.